Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review, chapter 1160, the God Valley Incident. That's right, it's finally here, the God Valley Incident, it seems, after many years of build-up since chapter 957, since we were properly introduced to the Rocks Pirates, and we first heard the God Valley Incident. We've been building up to this moment in which let's see, as we learn that, the Yonko used to be a part of the same pirate crew. Let's see, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom, as well as a few other pirate legends that we did heard of, like Captain John and Shiki, as well as some other characters that we hadn't heard, such as Wong Zi and Silver Axe. And Egghead, we learned a few more members as well as the fact that the God Valley Incident was this disgusting World Noble hunt, that they hunt islands not affiliated with the world government. And finally, when we finally got to Elbaf, it seems like we finally got introduced to Rocks in this Loki flashback, which arguably not much Loki at the moment, but yeah. In which that chapter showed all the sort of pieces heading towards God Valley. We saw Garland kill Shanks' mother. We saw Dragon being part of the Marines and learn he was platooned at God Valley. And when we see how all the pirates react to Shaki being kidnapped, and the fact that she was used as a prize that whoever wins can have her as a, let's see, wife or slave, basically. So, yeah, basically all the pieces are set. Let's see, you saw like some other details, like Big News Morgan's when he like first started out as a journalist, if you will, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, everything was leading up to this God Valley. And also one last bit of information where King Harold tried to intervene with Rocks, where Rocks revealed that his real name isn't actually Rocks D. Sebek, but it's Davy D. Sebek, and he's actually a descendant of the legendary pirate Davy D. Jones. So yeah. Let's see, so yeah, let's see. Basically, a lot of like the lineage of Blackbeard has become a lot more deep, and also the fact that he is also from God Valley, let's see, adds a whole new layers to his origins. Will we find out more about this, as well as the origins of a few other characters, such as Shanks and Dragon? Well, anyway, that's basically it. But before, of course, we talk about God Valley, let's see the chapter itself. We've got Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Circuit Pilgrimage, Volume 42, the Shrine to Odin and his companions, overlooking the Flower Capital, in which you see Yamato just looking over like the capital of Wano and the shrine that Odin has been buried into. I don't know if this is the final cover of like the Sea of Wano. I mean, in some ways, it would look like a fitting one, unless we're going to get a few more of like Yamato returning to like Momonosuke. I'm not sure, but if this is the last cover, I can see if this is the last one, I can see it's like her little journey's come to an end and now she's back. Granted, I think some people are going to be like, okay, what's going to happen with her now? At the very least, we do know that let's see, Yamato won't have any more excuses of like not trying to join the Straw Hats, as Yamato has done. Let's see, the journey to like one of that. Well, Yamato said that let's see, Yamato would do, and let's see, but for all we know, the Blackbeard pirates are likely to attack this place and like steal Uton, which Yamato would probably come and help to defend. So who knows? Anyway, I've gone along long enough for this cover. It's a nice little let's see, shot of the capital. I said my pieces, and now on to the actual chapter itself, in which hold on, let me just find. There's my mouse. Anyway, the chapter basically begins with like the world nobles. Let's see, as the world noble announcing is saying, "Feast your eyes on the Davy clan." Let's see, they're all booing at them, saying how they're the most hated clan, saying that they can go back to generations that no one loved their kind, telling them to be shunned and isolated. Let's see, some of them accusing them of just being more buccaneers, saying their lives pose a danger to them all. With the judge with the announcer saying, "Not so fast, no throwing weapons at them." Let's see, since if you kill them now, they won't be able to be hunted, of course. saying if we can wipe them out once and for all, this will be a blessed day. So basically, all the jeering and booing, and you end up seeing see a close up of some of the not that one, not that image. Close up images of the members of the Buccaneer clan. Hold on, let me find them. Spoiling everything. Oh yeah, here we go. Where you see close-up images of what some of the Buccaneer clans. One of them looks like let's see, a sort of look giant, big as Blackbeard, but with a straw hat. We've got someone with a big brushy teeth, and a few of them, I think, a woman here, and I think that's a child. So yeah, we've got, let's see, they're being booed and all that stuff. None of them look like characters that we know, which I don't know if that will help or dishelp, like some of the theories people have been having about certain characters maybe being related to the Davy clan, such as Buggy or Estes Kid or even Shanks, but who knows? So you've got that little bit there, and oh yeah, and then we cut to and then we also see a young Blackbeard as well as it says a child, as well as Blackbeard's mother here, if you will, which it looks like Oda's gone with the Nico Robin sort of design, if you will, given the sort of facial thing, but a bit more curly spiked hair things. But yeah, but Blackbeard is basically, as you can see here, witnessing the horror that is the world nobles. Let's see, seeing them as monsters, trying to be segregated and all that stuff. They look really terrifying. In many ways, this is like a look of a child seeing what the kind of monsters that they are. Anyway, we also see Saturn congratulating Garland on having a fine and saying it was just simply an act of fate, which is a bit of ironic that these two are next to each other talking, because this guy gets replaced by this guy. But yeah. As the announcer says, now let's introduce the favorites to win the individual competition. And then this is where we cut to another scene where we see where we are on the cliffhanger where Dragon encountered Shanks's mother, which I forgot to mention. Where let's see, the woman is just saying that it's saying that she'll be dead soon, so she's just asking to take her boys to someone kind-hearted to raise them into men. Just don't let him have them. Just pleading with Dragon to make sure, whatever happens, make sure Shanks and Shamrock do not fall in the hands of Garland to be raised monsters like them, as her hand falls to the ground and then she ends up dying, with Dragon declaring, I don't know who you are, but I want to save your kids. If I don't do something, I'm going to collapse under the weight of it all. As you see him rushing to try and help Thing. Anyway, the announcer goes okay, we already introduced the 13 super rare rabbits. They're worth 10,000 points each, and you get the world nobles going, woo! And then you see Kuma with in addition to the rare 150 rabbits. Let's see, as Kuma is one of the 13. Let's see, the announcer says that the hunt begins, and we see. Hold on, let me just see if I actually. Oh yeah, we see a bunch of the people, some of the civilians going running for their lives as they're questioning, are they seriously going to hunt us? As the world noble says, all your rabbits start running, and they're going, and all that stuff. So they're basically running for their lives, if you will. And let's see, no, it's this one here. Some of them are saying that they just have to survive 3 weeks and they're free. Just run. Others saying just run if it's an only hope, and others are wondering if they can find a place to hide. Basically, you've got civilians running, some of them holding their children. They're all running, and then you've got these despicable, ugly-looking bastards that is the world nobles. Hold on, let me find the image. World nobles going on the hunt as the announcer says the hunt begins. They go rabbits, where are you? One of them sounding Elmer Fudd, if you will. A mother trying to get a child to not cry, but the world noble finds them and then shoots them as the mother pleads to just let their baby live. But nope, he pretty much shoots them all, killing them all, an entire family. And you see this sort of transponders now recording the event. You got many civilians going please spare my life, don't kill my husband. But no matter who it is or where it is, they all get shot down. And you see in the land of the gods, Sacred Marijois, When you've got, let's see, world nobles that are not a part of the Great Hunt cheering on, saying, yes, get them. As the announcer says, the Ritzy Fagalan family is in the lead, but the Beva and Memia families are close in pursuit. As we end up seeing, let's see, let me just find the image. St. Gallen here, coming down, slicing and cutting down a bunch of civilians. You got a bunch of world noble women going like, Lord Garling! Or being a sort of like disgusting fangirls, if you will. With a bunch of world nobles doing the sick thing of like, who did you bet on? With apparently the Shepherd family in the competition, Gunko for the individual race. With the world noble saying, you're sure she's great, but she's still just the knighthood's pet, devoted blade of God, which apparently implies that she's not a full-on God's knight or a special sort of let's see, basically might implying that she's just got a special position of being like emus, like got pet for the God's knights, like, you know, the host kind of thing. At least that's what I'm assuming implies. And we see Gunko actually here, let's see, using her owl powers to slaughter a bunch of people. With someone sitting out saying, going, chalk up another excellent bonus for the Maymar family. As you got like the devoted blade of God, Maymar family, Saint Gunko, wearing a lot more of a military uniform than she is kind of like right now, if you will. In fact, I'd say this uniform's probably a bit better, but anyway, where I'm going on. And then we cut to like a prison shacky where for once we've got some very, very twisted Marines, if you go going like, I'm so jealous of St. Gallen. He's going to bag this beauty to be his wife, which I wonder if these Marines even know what exactly is going on? Are they okay with this genocide or not? But it's like, these guys are really if they're like fucked up, if you will. Mucked up. I should have said mucked up. Sorry. Apologies for the swears. But these guys are like really messed up, really. Let's see if they're going like being jealous of Garland being a prize wife thing when in the middle of a hunting competition of genocide. But yeah. But someone's saying it looks nothing's official yet. But then we end up seeing none other than the despicable Saint Summers with his like twisted form of like value of love. Hold on, let me find where's the image. I know I got here it is. Summers. Let's see, kicking in a tree to make a child fall down, to be cushioned on a bunch of thorny things, with a kid trying to plead all that stuff. The father tries to save his son as he tries to catch him, but he ends up, let's see, but they seemingly probably both end up dead by the thorns anyway, as Garling just going like, such a touching display of love kind of thing. But then we cut to like a, let me just see if I can find it. Dragon, as he witnesses more of like some of the horrible killings that the Celestial Dragon's done, as he thinks like, if I defy the Celestial Dragons and try to save someone, his entire platoon will be beheaded. And he's just coughing with just the horror and the fact that, well, holding his mouth like he's about to throw up, about the horror that he's witnessing, but he can't do anything about it. And then we see some Marines where Gretzi asking is everyone here, with the Marine leader of like Dragon's platoon going like, of course, sir, but thinking, stupid Dragon, where's he gone? He better not be on that island. And then Dragon ends up witnessing. Oops. Let me just see it. Here. No, not that one. That's a bit of a spoiler. And Dragon ends up seeing a young Kuma and a young Ivankov. Let's see, as the world noble goes like, oh, I found him, the 110,000 point buccaneer. As Ivankov goes like, don't waste your time dreaming of salvation from the sick game, saying that we have to escape the game itself. Let's get out of God Valley together. With Dragon thinking how they still got hope, as the world noble's about to shoot him with his 10-shot rifle, about to shoot Kuma, but Dragon shoots the world noble with, I believe, a tranquilizer, because you can see him being shot down there, as saving his future, like see revolutionary commanders, if you will. As he goes like, oh damn, I've really done it now. As You see more of the world nobles hunting and all that stuff. That sick, twisted game, if you will. And then, oops, sorry. And then finally, you see, let's see, one of the marine ships being exploded to the east, where they're going like, "Huh? What's going on?" and all that stuff. Of a world noble demanding, "What is that?" And it's none, and you see none other than the Rocks pirate ship and a bunch of other pirates arriving as they all like shocked, saying, "It's the Rocks pirates!" And not just them, there are all kinds of pirate crews piling up. So let's see, the Rocks pirates have finally arrived, and you see this this really awesome double-page spread of the Rocks pirates. Whitebeard, the fishman, I've forgotten his name, but he no longer has that sun god Nika look thing. Streusen, Buckerman, Stussy, Rocks, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, Gloriosa, Silver Axe, and Captain Long John. As Rock says, "All right, folks, Shaki, Treasure, Devil Fruits, there's no point in us killing each other over them," saying he proposes a temporary team-up since, they usually, as we see in their usual pirate raids, they try to backstab each other, and goes like, "Bring back the treasure and we'll split it even, so no complaints, I trust." With the fisherman going like, "But we can't split Shaki," with Shiki saying she's going to fall in love with whoever saves her first. Obviously, we're sure Silver Axe agreeing with that for the first time, saying, "Yeah, but you're not going to beat me to her." With Long John, it's Captain John saying Shaki's going to fall in love with whoever gets the most treasure. Whitebeard saying, "You have fun with that. I'm just concerned about my friend. And if she falls in love with me, well, I'm not complaining." And that gets Buckingham Stussy Jones saying, "What are you talking about, Newgate?" And Gloriosa saying, "But if I save Shaki, then maybe Roger will be grateful to me." And trying to think, like, trying to see if she can get her, trying to save her, like, former first mate, but also see if she can get Roger's affections. With Stussen going like, "One G stayed behind on the island. We'll ban her," saying they will ban him from her bar. Not realizing that probably he stayed behind because, well, basically he's the one that sold her out. And when they find out, they are going to kill him. But Big Moms goes like, "You're all fools. The entire world could turn upside down, and Shanky would never pay attention." And Kaido says, "Are you really going to give me a devil fruit, Leland?" So that Kaido, it seems, is not really all that interested in Shaki at the moment. So I think he's the only male amongst the slot that isn't. Besides maybe the fisherman. So yeah, they keep firing and destroying the marine ships. Marines getting blasted as Rocks sort of declares, "You're wasting your time, Navy. Follow my lead, Rocks pirates," as the ship goes crashing in. World nobles are going like, "Oh no, pirates have arrived. What are you doing, Navy?" And complain that if a single hair in their head is damaged, they'll have them hanged. As Marine says, "Urgent report. Attention needed on the western coast." Announcing that it's the Roger pirates has also arrived. While that is going on, Dragon has basically saw the opportunity, found the sleeping twins, grabbed them, and taking them away. Thinking how it's as we see as he managed to wake the twins up, if you will. Let me find them. Oh, here we are. Thinking that it's a miracle that they're staying quiet over this, but yeah. Let's see, as the celestial dragons are moving to all the center of the island, saying that they're trying not to be harmed in any circumstances. Marines going like, "This must be like the end of the world." Going like, first Rocks, and now it's the Roger pirates, as we see Roger's crew blowing up a ship, and then we see the actual Roger pirates charging forth. Roger going like, "I'm going to go rescue Shaki," saying that none of the rest of you have a shot, so focus on the treasure as they're all charging. But they all pummel through Roger in this really funny moment, and they all trample on him, and they go like, take Shaki back," as they're not interested in the treasure, they're after Shaki, and he's got like, okay, sorry. In a sense, in a sort of very Luffy-like situation. With Garland going like, "Damn it, can't focus on the game." The world nobles going like, "What's going on here? Do something." And then Garling and the rest of the world, and the rest of the Guards Knights. Well, you don't see Shaki and the gas mask dude here. Instead, you've got a few familiar faces and a few new ones. But yeah, as they say, pull the Navy back to protect the Celestial Dragons. The Holy Knights of God are stepping in. Well, we got Garland, let's see, as of course the main one. Summers is here. Let's see, we've got the Skull Dude and this woman here from when we saw the last time God Valley flashback in Kuma's. We've got the Maimar gun shooter here. And we got this woman here that looks a lot like Killingham, so this is arguably probably Killingham's mother. And this strange beast ogre, let's see, maybe Fishman. Hard to tell. It's like, is this guy going full on devil fruit, or is this like a non-human God's Knight, which seems so bizarre when you think about it? But yeah, the God's Knights are all here and all that stuff. As you're hearing more about pirates are landing on every shore, fire back battleships, don't letting the smart bark, and with the announcer saying it might be too late for that, as we see Whitebeard and hold on, let me just find it. Whitebeard and Shiki are slashing down, chopping down Marines. As the announcer says, the pirates are all charging onto the island, saying they don't know what they're after. As they're doing that, you see Garp, let's see, throwing a cannonball. Hold on, let me just throwing a cannonball, damaging a bunch of pirates. As he says, hold on, and saying not to chop up his men like a plate of veggies. You see pirates exploding. Roger and Rox pause for a moment to pay attention to the fact that none other than Monkey D. Garp has arrived, as everyone and the Marines realize who its ship is and saying, it's Vice Admiral Garp! As he says, I am here, baby. As the announcer says, reinforcements have arrived. It's Vice Admiral Garp. As you see Garp, a bunch of Marines, including Bogard here, his right-hand man. As the Marines go like, we are saved, as Garp smiles, ready to take on Roger and whatever pirate gets in his way. Basically, ending the chapter. So, yeah. That's the end of the chapter, and now I've done my summary. Time for my overall thoughts. Holy moly, it's finally here, God Valley. We've been waiting for this for 300 chapters, and I am excited. Honestly, this to me feels like basically the Naruto equivalent of the Madara and Hashirama, let's see, duel at the Valley of N, but in a much more bigger, grander scale. It's like the Marine. This is like an even bigger battle than Marineford was. I mean, it won't be as long because it's a flashback, but still, it's like so epic just seeing it. Let's see, seeing just basically everything. The World Nobles really are absolute scum here, but it is interesting how during this bit here they're talking about the Davy clan. Let's see, implying that some of them might be Buccaneers, which we don't know if Blackbeard might have some Buccaneer blood, which might explain the specialties about his body, but there might be some other theories about that. But yeah, but at the very least, it was interesting to actually see members of the actual Davy clan here. Granted, none of the. It's interesting that one of them has a straw hat, which is similar with like Joe Boy and the rest of the D clan seem to have. Which but yeah, I think it might be coincidence or not. But yeah, granted, none of them really look like any characters we know. Granted, I don't think we see these are all the members of the David clan, but these are just the ones that Oda just wants to show. I mean, we'll have to wait and see whether or not there'll be other members that we know that are related to the Davy clan, or if Blackbeard is basically the last survivor. but honestly, it is just kind of awesome just seeing let's see, Blackbeard things. In many ways, his entire family is just being wiped out and all that stuff. In many ways, he's basically got the Sasuke Uchiha treatment of like has the entire clan annihilated, but much worse in some regards because they're being treated as slaves and then being targeted for prisoners and killing targets in this hunting game. And he's just looking at basically firsthand at the World Nobles' cruelty, just seeing them as these monsters. In many ways, you can kind of see how Blackbeard kind of became the way he is. a pirate that steals and robs and cheats to get what he wants and wants to destroy the world. You can see why he wants that ambition, why he seems to be so good of taking over the world and dethroning the world nobles, if you will. He really is sort of like, you can really see, understand in some ways. Let's see, you kind of want to see him get his revenge, but you know that if he takes over, the world is going to probably be also be screwed because, well, he'll bring in an age of chaos, which will be detrimental to like the average citizens. No one would be safe, but you can really kind of sympathize with him here. It's also interesting that Oda has finally decided to show Blackbeard's mum. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to show it, but no, he had actually shown it. And interesting with like it seems like she has sort of like curly, spiky hair bits that's kind of similar to Rocks in some way regards. I'm not sure if that's maybe why, but yeah. But interesting, Oda's decided to go with the Nico Robin design for Blackbeard's mother, which, to be fair, I do know many people that do find Nico Robin to be more sexy than Nami, if you will, but like King of Lightning, but yeah, but it's interesting that Oda's gone with this design. I know there are some theories that people are wondering, like, could she maybe perhaps be related to Nico Robin, being like, maybe Olivia's, I don't know, sister, aunt, something like that. I'm not sure, but it would be very, which I think that might be a bit of a stretch, but it would maybe explain how Blackbeard got an interest in archaeology because his own mother, had it. And if she's from Ohara, that would explain a bit. But I think that is, of course, just speculation. I think it's just, they just went with a Nico Robin design at the moment. If there's more to it, then okay, fair enough. Though it would be an interesting bit of dynamic where Robin learns that she has another relative, but it's unfortunately Blackbeard. But I don't think that's going to be. I don't think Oda's going to go all that too interconnected with all the different families, to be fair. I think he's just like just chose the Robin design for his mother, and it's like Blackbeard's just basically going to lose his entire family today. At least he believes so. At least Rock's probably his mother and probably other Davy clans, unless there's a few survivors, thanks to Kuma or something. But yeah. But basically, I can really understand where he's basically coming from. But yeah. Anyway, but even though we end up seeing Blackbeard's mother, we don't end up seeing Shanks's mother's face, which I will admit I'm kind of disappointed in that. To be honest, granted, unless Oda is saving it for something and decide that, you know what, best not to actually dwell on the whole Shanks' mother. But it's a bit weird because it's like you show Blackbeard's mother, but you're not showing your own mother. I'm curious to see if perhaps Oda's saving it for a flashback to give a sort of idea, or perhaps maybe Oda's trying to conceal it because, Shanks' mother might look like someone from the D clan, or maybe she's a part of the Davy clan or something. I'm not sure, but I do like how she's able to talk to Dragon about how she knows she's dead, too late for her, but she wants at least someone to save her boys to make sure they don't end up like Garland and all that stuff, be raised by someone good. Unfortunately, as we know, in the present day, Dragon, and he took them, managed to only succeed with one, Shanks, being raised by Roger and ended up becoming a good man, a person that protects the weak, while Shamrock basically became his father, a world noble that basically harms others and all that stuff. So, but yeah. So, we got that. Anyway, I do like how with this God Valley flashback, you have like I mentioned earlier, you kind of had Garland and Saint Saturn talking to each other as he's congratulating on the find, because it's like, okay, you basically I like how he's praising Garland for finding like the Davy clan, thinking like it's such a rare find and all that stuff, but he's just thinking it's just to a bit of fate, if you will. But it's like you've got the two warrior gods, Science of Defense, the former and the Fritzy and the successor, chatting to each other. Saints had no idea that Garling would be taking his place. I'm not sure if Garling. I wonder if Garling always wanted Saturn's place or just waited for Emo to just give him one of the let's see, 5, let's see, elders spot once one of them is, screwed up, if you will. I'm very curious in that regard. So, yeah. But anyway, let's see, just when you thought, but anyway, we end up seeing, of course, the great hunt with let's see, civilians running for their lives and all that stuff. Let's see, can't believe that they're in this situation, trying to hold on to their kids. The despair they're all feeling, some of them believing like if they can survive the 3 weeks, they can be alive. As we know, in Valka said in the last flashback, none of them are getting out of here. Let's see, and all that stuff. And I do like how you're seeing how all of them trying to think of like just either running or trying to find a place to hide, thinking, okay, what can we do to survive? Because it's like this crazy situation. But in many ways, it's interesting that Oda's actually showing us a little bit of the Grand Hunt, if you will, actually seeing these world nobles shoot people, killing families, including those with babies, with mothers trying to prevent their kids from crying so they won't be spotted, people begging to like not harm their sons, their wives, their husbands. Let's see, all that while you got people just cheering on and seeing them, let's see, just cheering on Shamrock, let's see, Garling to slaughter them and all that stuff. It's so kind of twisted, like just people begging for their lives and then being killed. World nobles making bets on who would do the most kills, or like which family will win, or like who will get the most individual kills. It is sick, this scene, this sort of betting game. This is arguably one of the most disgusting forms of genocide that you can see. Seeing world nobles like Summers here kicking down a child to Thorn, the father trying to save. Let's see, Shamrock just slaughtering a bunch of people while riding on this thing. But we also learned a few interesting details about Gunko, where apparently she's the devoted pet, knighthood's pet, devoted blade of God, where it seems like she has a special ranking amongst the world nobles as maybe not necessarily a full-on God's Knight, but the special sort of like blade of the God's Knight, which seems to imply that, let's see, okay, she's the only member of the God's Knight that has like Imu that can possess and host and all that stuff. So it seems like Gunko is Imu's personal host. Now, why Imu chose Gunko, we don't know. Could it be the devil fruit abilities, or could it be something? Or perhaps maybe Gunko reminds him of Vivi. Lily. I'm not sure. But yeah. Anyway, but it's kind of curious because if Oda's going to have Gunko maybe go as a good guy, I'm wondering, it's like let's see how that can be made possible after Betray Emu or something after this. I'm not sure, because basically you're literally seeing Gunko here. Let's see, slaughtering a bunch of people. She's being basically a part of this genocide. I'm not sure how her interactions with Brock go, but you're seeing her doing some very awful things. But other than that, I will admit, I do like this design of Gunko. It's a bit better than her modern one with the sort of gangster girl one, if you will. And I think the skirt thing is a bit more appropriate than the sort of panty look that Oda has here. Honestly, she looks more like a sort of knight or a member of the God's Knights in this look. So I don't know, but I don't think let's see, I guess I'll decide like, okay, you know what, just do a flashback look here and just make her look more like a knight here and have a bit more of a naughty one in the present day. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, next bit of the chapter. But it's also kind of sick just to see some of the Marines also sort of behave. I mean, let's see, with Shaki here, just some of them going like, "Oh, I'm so jealous of Garling having. Is he going to have her as a wife?" And it's like, "Oh, the competition's not over yet." Arguably, it seems like these Marines, the more twisted, disgusting ones, that like Captain Nezu or Aksan Morgan, that don't care about civilians being harmed and all that stuff. Normally, we see good Marines being good and helping civilians. Only really seeing them harm them if they're really twisted by absolute justice ideology and all that stuff. But let's see, clearly that's not with this group of Marines here. They're just sick individuals. So there's that. I do like how, let's see, she's just feeling all sorts of like depressing and all that stuff here. It's like she clearly doesn't want to be here, but it's like she's just like weighing it out, knowing that something horrible is happening to her, not yet realizing that her knight in shining armor, Rayleigh, is probably about to come and rescue her. So you've got that little bit there. But anyway, I do like how we end up seeing Dragon and a sort of like, let's see, arguably for many people, he's like the MVP in this sort of thing. Witnessing the horror of like God Valley here, and the fact that he can't do anything about it because it might also risk his entire Marine squad platoon with him. He might not be agreeing with the Marines right now, but it's like he probably doesn't want them all being dead, even though they probably blame him for something down the line of getting them in trouble. But it's like you can clearly see how this affects Dragon so greatly and all that stuff. And the fact that, and even though we end up seeing him helping Kuma and Ivankov when he hears that they still have encouraged to escape, and then he sees a world noble that's about to shoot them. Gets inspired by their desire to keep on living. Does basically the forbidden taboo of striking a world noble. Granted, he doesn't kill them. You wouldn't be able to blame them if you did, but it seems he did the tranquilize and put this guy to sleep. But I don't think anyone would blame him if he actually shot world noble. But he probably didn't. But then again, he probably didn't realize that pirates would be coming soon to attack. So, but yeah. But either way, he probably would have still done the tranquilizer. But anyways, Dragon, at the age of 17, has done what his own son would do in the future: strike a world noble and become an enemy of them, if you will, one way or another. But yeah. So I do like the fact that we got to see Dragon, begin his first act of rebellion by protecting his future revolutionary commanders and friends, if you will, or associates, because I'm not sure how close Dragon got with them, but he seems to at least care for them to some extent. Granted, I do wonder if Ivankov or Kuma ever learned that Dragon was at God Valley and saved their life. I'm curious if it was ever brought up. At the very least, maybe Ivankov knows, I'm not sure, but yeah. But it is kind of like a nice cross pass of fate, if you will. I think people was hoping that something like this would happen, and it did. But anyway, let's see. But many people like at first wondering, like, ever since like the God Valley was like revealed to be a disgusting hunting game, people wondering like Roger Pirate, Rock's Pirate showing up. They're supposed to be bad guys, but no, they seem to be the heroes. Granted, they're more like anti-heroes because Rock's wants to conquer the world. But it's actually cool to actually see them arriving and spook the freak out of the world nobles and the Marines there panicking because like they're having a sick game. But now a group of pirates have come and save them. Well, not really save them, but more of like just ruin their game, to annihilate any of them that get in their way. And of course, rescue their beloved Shaki, if you will. So, on a second, I'm just going to quickly refill my cup. Sorry, refueling for nearly for a while. Makes me lose a bit of dry throat, if you will. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the Rocks Pirates are here and all that stuff. Let's see, with them sort of united in the goal of like stealing, rescuing Shaki, stealing whatever treasure they can, and collecting the devil fruits. Rock saying that none of the backstabbing now. We all got to work together, which of course they seem to be in agreement to. But of course, there's still a bit of debate on like who gets. You can't really share Shaki with some of the members, like Shiki and Silver Axe, debating, arguing like whoever saves her will be the one that she falls in love with. John thinking that the treasure's what she would fall for. White big on like falling for a friend, just want to stay with a friend, but wouldn't mind if she fell for him. Stussy being like, hey, you got me and all that stuff. Gloriosa thinking that saving Shaki might get to save Roger. Just like each of their own individual reasons to save Shaki. And some of them want romance, some of them don't. Some of them are like, or at least Gloriosa's case, hoping Roger will appreciate her for saving Shaki. But of course, like the only ones that don't seem interested is Big Mom's, oldest crewmate, Stusen, I think. I can't remember the chef's name, but going like noticing that Wang Ji confirming that he's not here with them. thinking that, okay, he's going to be banned, but actually not realizing that he's the reason that Shaki's there. It would be interesting if, in a what-if scenario, if the Rocks Pirates didn't disband and did the Fritzy kill Rocks and die, they managed to rescue Shaki, bring her back to the bar, and then later learn that from her that Wang Ji was the one that backstabbed them. I wonder if she would be able to. I wonder how they would end up. Let's see how quickly Wang Ji would be killed by the Rocks Pirates. I'm curious, but then again, Blackbeard got sort of revenge for like his father, if you will, by taking over Hachinosu. So you got that. But I do like how Big Mom is basically being the one going like, "You're all idiots. Shaki isn't gonna fall for you." I think I'm curious to see if Big Mom knows that Shaki actually likes Rayleigh or not, but who knows? But it's interesting to see that only Kaido, besides maybe the Fishman, let's see, I'm not entirely sure, but Kaido's basically like, Lennon, you're going to give me a devil fruit, right? Because he seems to be either too young to be interested in Shaki or just basically more interested in, just generally interested in the devil fruit, really. As we know that Big Mom will give Kaido the devil fruit. Granted, perhaps maybe she gave him the strongest one. Perhaps she should have saved that for her children, but who knows? I think she just gave maybe just gave Kaido a random one and not realize, damn, I should have kept that one for my kid. Who knows? But yeah, interesting. I don't see the armored guy of one of the other sort of Rocks Pirates there, but I'm so that's it. But we do know that he is in God Valley and all that stuff. So yeah. I just love seeing Rocks just like taking charge and just blowing up. Let's see marine ships crashing in. They're getting busted. World nobles are in complete panic. I do like that this is the opportunity that Dragon decides to go and sneak in and try and take Shanks and Shamrock away, using the opportunity to try and save them, thinking that he needs to at least... Oops. So I got one of my alarms on. I forgot to turn this off. Trying to get them away, at least thinking like he can do this for like, Shanks' mother, if you will. Which, of course, I mentioned he only succeeds in one. But it is interesting the fact that none of these two are crying. Granted, they're too young to understand what Dragon's doing, but who knows? I do wonder if one of the fact that they haven't cried yet might be a sign that just going to do like a hint that one of them ends up crying and makes a noise that gets Garling's attention, and as a result, he's able to retrieve one of his sons, which of course Shamrock, but then fails. Dragon saves Shanks the other way, and then as a result, this will build up to like the probably inevitable clash between maybe Dragon and Garling or something else, because many people believe that Garling is going to be Dragon's future opponent, which I can see with the way the story is being built up. You can actually see it, but yeah. I do like how we've got like as Rocks is, of course, doing this rampage. You've got like you got basically the Roger Pirates also coming in and all that stuff, and the Marines are thinking like this is a nightmare. This is like the end of the world scenario, because it's like first Rocks, now Roger. I do like how Roger's trying to say like Shaki's mine. Everyone just goes loot treasure, but they're like, no way. You've got Roger being like this awesome captain leading charge, but then when he tries to like just make it all about Shaki, they pummel him and all that stuff in a similar manner to Luffy. Granted, I know some people are a bit like, this is killing Roger's Aurora. He's being too much of a... he's being treated like a bit of a joke, but I think this is just Oda doing like sort of like young Roger being a bit like Luffy, where the pirate crew well respects him and they follow his authority. There are times when they ignore it or like are not against trampling on him just to go and try and when they don't disagree with him and all that stuff. So yeah, I think people are being a bit too quick, because while we are getting a bit of this moment, we are going to probably see more of this badass Roger during this course as we see him clash with Rox. Anyway, I do like how we got to see like nearly the full roster of the Gods Knights. At least 7 members of the 9 Chillarettes. Granted, as a Spectre voted, they all don't look alike. But then again, we have seen Garland before. We know Summers. We've seen these 2 in the last flashback. That stuff. We've seen the Manmar as well and that. But we got mostly interesting is these 2 new members here. This one is obviously going to be Killian's mother. Arguably, probably she ends up being killed probably likely either getting killed in this battle or eventually down the line gets replaced or Killian replaces her or something. This one is perhaps the most intriguing member of the Guards Knight because, well, this one's the least humanoid of them all. We don't know if it's like a fishman, a devil fruit, maybe a hybrid. We do know that Gods Knights can probably maybe be recruited by non-celestial dragons to some extent, but it's like, would they recruit a fishman? Because I doubt they would. Let's see. If I had to guess, this is some sort of devil fruit, and the guy just likes being in his devil fruit form. The only 2 Britzy Gods Knights I think we're missing is that one gas mask who we know this could be the gas mask turning into a devil fruit one, and Gunko, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm pretty certain with Gunko here, you're going to probably have elements of Gunko being like the pet of the Gods Knights. Probably means that Ima's going to try possess her at some point. So, yeah. But I do like how you basically see the Marines are just dealing with all these sort of like pirates, and they just can't do anything because it's like all these legends are slashing and clashing. Let's see. The main fights haven't begun yet, but I do like seeing this like legends just slicing about. Let's see, particularly Whitebeard and Shiki here, arguably probably the 2 strongest members besides Rox of this crew at the moment. Rather than just seeing Shiki use his swords at this time. But yeah, but I do like how, let's see, Garp basically throws a cannonball, blowing a bunch of pirates, and it causes Roger and Rox to cause their attention. It's like, oh crud, Garp's here, and it's like, Garp, let's see, has just basically got the most epic entrances here. I'm here, and the Marines are like, we're saved, even though, and you got like Beauregard here, but it's mostly Garp. No, let's see, I'm trying to remember his name. No, let's see, Admiral Khan or Fleet Admiral Khan, no Sengoku, no Tsuyu, just Garp. The Marines are just hype. Garp is the Marine. Granted, I know some people are like, oh, how could Garp allow this genocide to happen? And we don't know how much, I will say for Garp's sense, we don't know how much he knows. Let's see, he's clearly not here for like the world nobles. He doesn't give a damn about them. I'm sure if he could, he would save as many civilians as he could, but he's here to save his Marine comrades and take down Roger and Rox because, well, that's mainly his priority here. Granted, we do know that eventually Roger and Garp team up, but yeah, but he's got this epic entrance. In many ways, Garp gets like the best entrance, and it's like all the players are here, all the key ones. It's hype. Just seeing God Valley has finally started. The God Valley incident has finally started. Arguably the most ultimate pirate battle with the Rox pirates, Roger, Garp, and the Gods Knights all here. All these legendary figures, all these characters that we know throughout the series from Legend are about to begin with their ultimate clash. Honestly, I'd probably, in my overall score, I'd probably give this chapter probably a, you know what, either a 9.8 or a 10 out of 10, because this is just the ultimate setup. The only really nitpicks I can think of having with this chapter is just the fact that we don't get to see Shank's mother's face, and the fact that we got to see Blackbeard's, but not hers. I feel like why hiding the face at the moment. But that seems more like just a minor nitpick, because I do like what she's done with her quest to Dragon, and the fact that we didn't really get, despite the fact that this is a Loki / King Howard flashback, this is the first chapter none of them appear in. But frankly, that does feel like nitpicks, because frankly, this chapter, because at the very least, Olga's always managed to get them in at least one panel in this flashback, even when the Rox pirates have been the focus, or Roger pirates. But frankly, I feel like this is just minor nitpicks, because this is like the ultimate setup. I am hyped. Arguably, this is going to probably be the biggest flashback battle of all. Let's see, of the series, as well as probably many other shonen manga. Maybe the only exception is when we finally get the Void Century. This is hyped. I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. Seeing Blackbeard witnessing the horror of the celestial dragons. Dragon trying his best to save not only Shanks and Shamrock, the quest of Shanks' mother, but also his future revolutionary commanders. The cruelty of the royal nobles here, seeing just how cruel they are, be it regular ones or God's Knights. The Rocks Pirates epic entrance, the Roger Pirates epic entrance, even Roger's goofy moments, and even Garp's epic entrance. This is arguably the ultimate flashback battle. Yeah, overall, so yeah, 10 out of 10. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. So yeah, for those who end up listening to the stream, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. But for now, I am signing off. I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.